Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Stash Report from the Stash Project. This will be our August compilation video. For folks that are new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Thanks for joining up. Hope you enjoy what you find here. We do this beginning of every month. These are the expected kit releases. This is, of course, August of 2020. So we have a few things on the domestic side of things, 5 kits out of round 2, as well as the Salvino's release, and then we have kind of interestingly, only Hasegawa and Aoshima over in Japan to deal with this month. Kind of odd that there's not something from one of the other companies in there. There's a possibility we will see some kits out of Nunu this month. The Peugeot 306 Maxi may possibly come out this month, but it's hard to really feel confident in declaring any of their kits coming out until they actually are released in Hong Kong, and then we can be like, oh, well, they'll come out in Japan in a couple of weeks, and we'll all feel better about it. There are right now several kits that are pending, all of which had things like June and July releases, which we, of course, told you was going to be nonsense. We all, as a community here on this channel, knew that was nonsense. We'll have a couple of more kit announcements to talk about from Nunu in the Monday video that we talk about on the weekly video, because there'll be future releases as well. And, of course, we'll sit there and sticker and giggle at their expected release dates for those as well. So, sticking to this month, the Salvino's kit is going to be the Bobby Allison 1981 Monte Carlo in a Hardee's livery. That, of course, is the old monogram tooling with the new flat nose, if you will, Monte Carlo nose piece that they created for the kit. Over at round 2, we have 2 kits from AMT expected in August. First up, you have the International Pay Hauler 350. Yes, the great big construction dump truck. It is not the world's largest dump truck by any means, but it is definitely a quarry or, building the interstates back in the day kind of dump truck. It is not a, a Class B dump truck by any stretch of the imagination. It is a gigantic model kit. I think it was originally an Ertl kit when it originally was released back in the 70s. So that's coming back out, as well as one of 2 kits I think will be very specifically interesting this month, and that is the 70.5 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 full bumper kit. So this is one of the 2 kits this month that round 2 is going to be putting out that has a significant amount of work done to it. This is your Coca-Cola dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen. So this actually had a new front core piece for the body mold tooled up. If you look at any of the 70.5 Camaros, there's 2 of them, the RS split bumper and the Baldwin Motion kit. You'll notice that there is a molding line that goes down the sides of the headlights and then across the top of the headlights and the turn signals and around the grille surround. That is where the little piece of front core to the tool matches the top of the body and the 2 sides. They've created that new front piece because a full bumper Z28 does not have the turn signal indicators inboard of the headlights the way the split bumper does. So that was created, and that's probably been one of the biggest holdups on this kit, was when they went to tool up that new piece, they used, modern 2020 computer data, or 2019 computer data, and found out very quickly that when the kit was redesigned back in the late 1990s to do the new Tool 7.5 Camaro, that the front fenders are not equilateral side to side in reality in a geometric sense. So they actually had to go back and figure out how to tool the piece to fit the tool, the actual tool that exists, rather than having be exactly 100% prototypically correct. This kit also has a new lower front fascia, as well as a new grille, new front bumper, obviously. So basically a parts runner of chrome and one parts runner pieces, and then of course the front core piece is actually tooled into the body. So technically speaking, it's a new body, even though 95% of it is the same. So that is a new kit, did not exist before. That is, again, 95% the split bumper RS, just with the new pieces to make a Z28. And I know that's been a requested kit probably since like the 70.5 was retooled, or not retooled, but made into a new tool, because the retooled 70.5 that was done by AMT Ertl in the early 90s, that was a backdating of the 1970s Camaro annual kit, was a hot pile of garbage, and that's why they tooled the new kit later on. Over at MPC, you have a reissue of the Tiki Trike. So this is going to be the third of the 6 Trick Trike kits for people who are collecting those. Also, a reissue of the 1932 Chrysler Imperial 8, the Gangbusters kit. So this is basically the same Chrysler Imperial kit that's always been, although the motorcycle is included in this. And there's been some debate in the forum community as to whether or not the motorcycle was in the last couple of releases of this kit. I've never had one, so I couldn't tell you one way or the other. It does come with all of the guns still. That was also another debate, was whether or not, in the community, or the community, but the times that we live in, with firearms being thought of very divisively, no matter which side of the debate, if you will, you come down on, that it was a possibility that you would see the machine guns and things pulled out of it, but those weapons are still in the kit. So for people who are interested in it, that's going to come back out. And then the other kit that has a significant amount of work done to it is the 1972 Chevy Vega Pro Stock, and this is going to be a Grumpy Jenkins, Grumpy's Toy. I think it's Grumpy's Toy 9, or it might be Grumpy's Toy 10, I'm not sure. I knew that, but I'm recording this when I'm getting home from work. It's Saturday morning at like 5 a.m., so pardon me if I'm not all here. But this kit has a brand new body. So this entire, not just part of it, but the entire body is a brand new piece of tooling that they created. It has a much, much more accurate rear fender area compared to just sort of the halved out rear radius of the wheels they did to the original kit. It appears that everything is ungated, so there's a bunch of the parts for the 4-cylinder in there, not the entire engine. This cannot be built factory stock. It has a tubbed interior and a narrowed rear axle, tub Pro Street 1970s era Pro Street chassis plate. So this is sort of a mix of old and new. There's, again, the body is the primary new draw here. Is a brand new set of decals. For the first time, the decals have all the red trim that goes around the windows as decals, rather than making you paint the two-tones. That might be of interest to people as well. I believe there are actually 2 sets, well, not 2 sets, but one set of decals, but there's the ability to build the vehicle in 2 ways as far as what number Grumpy's Toy it is. And again, that's one of the kits that was, when it was announced as being coming back with a whole bunch of new stuff told into it, everyone was very excited about it, and it is also releasing in August. So, for people who've been waiting on that patiently, your wait is almost over. Going overseas to Japan at Hasegawa, there are pretty much a split here. This looks like it's about, 9 or 10 kits here. Half of them are reissues, half of them are modified reissues, whether it be legit modifications or just also long ago far aways, as we call them, where the kits have not been released for a while. So the straight reissues are the Volkswagen Type 2 23 window microbus, the Lamborghini Miura P400 SV, the 1972 Monte Carlo Rally Nissan 240Z. That's the one that was retooled significantly to include the left-hand drive pieces in it. Those left-hand drive pieces, of course, went into the civilian versions we got last year. Reissue of the GB122 Nissan Sunny Late, so that's the 1980s Sunny with the gray car on the box art. And the Monster Attack Team Mazda Cosmo with Resin Girl figure. Brian, we're looking out for you on the Resin Girls. Over on the sort of modified stuff, you get a reissue of the BMW 2002 Tii, and this is going to come with a chin spoiler. The chin spoiler is a resin piece. Basically, the same 2002. It's always been there, just throwing this resin piece in. We've seen them do this a number of times with chin spoilers, especially. Chin spoilers apparently a very specifically popular thing in Japan. So that's going to be reissued. The reissue of their Mercedes C9 or Sauber C9, in the 1987 World Sports Car Prototype Series Nürburgring race. I did not write down here where that car finished. I didn't know at one point in time, but it is not a podium car, so it's kind of an interesting choice for that race. Reissue of the 1990 or the Lancia Super Delta as the 1993 Rally Portugal livery, and that is going to be a third place finisher. A reissue of the Mitsubishi Galant in its 1991 Côte d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast Rally. I believe that's a winning car. I think. I'm trying to see where the one I bought so you guys could have this kit went off to. It's in my stack somewhere. I think that's a winning kit. I'm not sure. I have to look. But at any rate, that is a Galant that is very, very, very sought after. It has never been reissued prior to now. It's a kit that was released back in the very early to mid 1990s. I want to say it's a 1993 kit. And it has a right-hand drive dashboard in it. All of the Galant kits, because they're European rally cars, are left-hand drive. This is the only one that has right-hand drive in it. So it is one of those things where if you want to build any of the other aftermarket Côte d'Ivoire rally kits, you need this kit to do. Or if you just want to build that one, you need that kit to do. So there's been aftermarket decals available for it, the 1991 year specifically. But again, if you wanted to be prototypically correct with it, you couldn't actually build it out of the other Galant rally cars that have been done because you would not have your wipers and your steering wheel on the correct side of the vehicle. Also, there's a bull guard to that is different than the Safari Rally one. So it's those parts are also specific to the Ivory Coast Rally and are not in any of the other Galants. So that is coming back again, as we call the long ago faraway kits, where it's been longer than I have been out of high school since that kit was last on the shelves. And then last but not least, out of Hasegawa, you get a reissue of the Volkswagen Type 2 panel van. This is what is known as the Fire Pattern. So it's going to be sort of a flame, black car, gold flame kind of thing, with a blonde resin girl. So Brian, look at that. We got you again on another resin girl. Resin girl. All the things. Over at Aoshima, mostly, as always, restocks and reissues. I don't believe there's anything really new here. There's going to be a couple of kits that have figures in them for the first time. But more looking at the stack here, well, there's a couple of interesting things here we'll get to as we go through them, but there's nothing here that is actually new in the sense of new tooling. Reissue of the 91 Toyota Aristo 3.0 QV trim levels. That's a just straight restock, as well as restock on the 14-inch Focus Racing 8-spoke Watanabe Mark IIIs and equipped wheels, as well as the 19-inch Kranze Borfus and Kranze LXZ wheels. So those are straight restocks. The actual August reissues include the 1998 Toyota Chaser Toyota Racing Development Kit, the Ken and Mary Skyline number 73 Phantom Kit. That is the sort of tribute concept build. In 1973, the Japanese, what they call it, the Japanese Grand Prix, way before it was ever an F1 race, was a touring car race. And in 1973, the Skyline GTR should have continued because they had been racing the previous first-gen, or well, technically not the first-gen Skyline, but it's first-gen Skyline to a lot of people. First-gen Skyline is actually from the 1950s and was a Prince, the car that came before Nissan as far as the name of the company goes. But at any rate, that second-gen GTR should have been raced, but the oil embargo happened and the GTR program was scrapped. Racing in general didn't happen very much that year, and the 1973 Nissan Skyline racing car just never actually came to fruition. So this is sort of a phantom version of what that car would have looked like. And then you're going to get a reissue of the 1970 Japanese Automotive Federation Grand Prix. I have it listed here as the GTRs. You can build 3 different cars out of this, including the race winner. Then you have a reissue of the 1975 Nissan S30 Fairlady 280Z Special Racing, and I believe this is an old iMake kit, or I'm trying to think of who else I saw. This kit's been reissued by a couple different people. This is not an original Aoshima tool. But that is going to come back out. Kind of interesting to see what's actually in that. It's been a long time since that's seen the light of day. Reissue of the 1979 Mazda RX-7 24 Hours of Daytona kit. Reissue of the 1982 Skyline R30 Super Silhouette. Reissue of the AE86 Toyota Truno Takumi Volume 1 kit. So that's just the, what do we call it? Always call the base 86. When we talk about the initial D series, the comic book series, nothing. It has an engine, but it does not have any of the roll caging or engine tuning parts. And then you have the Takumi AA6 Truno Project D, which is sort of the middle grade between the two. Volume 37 is the one with all of the parts. The one we recommend you buy if you're just trying to buy if you want to build a Truno. The Volume 37 kit is always the one we recommend, which I realize I'm restating my words there. But it's the one because it has the roll cage racing seats, it has all of the engine tuning parts, the straight exhaust, and everything in it, because parts were added to those initial D kits as time went on, and the Volume 37 one just has all of the parts that you ever could get in any of the kits. And if you don't want to build one to be the actual manga, movie, comic book car, it just has all the options in it. The Project D has some racing parts in it. It has a racing seat, but not the roll cage and things like that. And this is going to have a figure put into it for the first time. And then Takahashi's FD3S RX-7 from the Project D series. This is a kit that was released, I want to say, early last year with some retooled parts added to it to make this Project D version of the RX-7. And this, again, having a figure added to it. Reissue of the 2013 Lamborghini Aventador 50th Anniversario and its photo etch set. And then a couple of sets of wheels here that are not available outside of the kits they came in. So these are not new wheel sets, but they are the first time they're being offered separate from the model kits that they were tooled for. So you got the K-Brake Hybrid 5 stars, which are available in either an 18-inch or a 20-inch wheel set. And then you have the K-Brake Cross 9s and the K-Brake Level over Delta X, which are out of some Toyota Crowns, a Nissan, I think it's a President, and there's one other kit there that I'm forgetting. But those wheels were tooled up specifically for various K-Brake tuner VIP cars, and you could not obtain those wheels prior to this month without buying the whole kit that they came with. So again, those are sort of the interesting wheel sets because, now you can actually buy them. You could get them for $8 for a set of wheels instead of buying a $30 model kit just to get a set of wheels out of it. So those are the expected releases for the month of August. Now we still have 3 kits from July from Revell that have not come out. They are the 3-in-1 62 Impala, the Dom's 71 GTX, and the 78 El Camino 3-in-1. They were all expected to be July kits, so I would expect they probably will be fairly early in August. No known delays to those. Basically, they're just taking their sweet time. Shipping from Asia is a disaster, as we've talked about in the past. So get it even in terms of, we shipped them in a great big boat. Yeah, well, that's still not the quickest. A, that's not the quickest way to go in the first place, but B, it's even that is still hit or miss sometimes. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Again, this will be a Saturday morning video, so the weekend has not happened for the most of you, and so I hope it's a good one for everybody, and we'll see you guys on the other side.